Hey everyone, okay, so today I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favourite exfoliants because I thought this would be a fun video. Now before we do move on to that, I just want to talk to you about acids, pH levels, compounds and all those kind of things, because I've received some lovely comments on a previous video about peels. So I thought I would talk to you about it. Now hands up if people out there know the difference between free acids and compounds. So, generally speaking, a free acid is usually found in medical grade products for skin peels. They're oftentimes done as well at a doctor's office or a dermatologist. And a free acid basically means that the product is the pure acid. There's nothing else in it. So we'll just say glycolic acid. It is 100% of the acid that is available to you. And then there's the compound side of things, which means you've got the acid, but then you've got water, alcohol, preservatives, emulsifiers, antioxidants, and everything else they can put into an ingredient or put into the bottle. And those tend to be the products that we would buy from our favorite skincare brands. And then you've got the issue of pH level. So a pH level basically means, with regards to an exfoliant, how well that product is going to exfoliate the skin. So if you have a free acid, so we're just going to say a medical grade acid, and it has a pH of 1, basically all of that acid in that product is able to exfoliate the skin. Now if you have the same product but it has a pH of 4, the difference in the ability of that acid to exfoliate the skin is really large. You don't have that full capacity to exfoliate the skin. So to give you an example, if you've got a 30% glycolic acid, free acid, and it's got a pH of 1, 100% of that pretty much is able to exfoliate the skin. However, if you have that same 30% product, but it has a pH level of 4, around about 12% of that acid is able to exfoliate the skin, not 30, even though it states on the bottle it's a 30% peel. Another thing to bear in mind is that if you were to apply, let's just use these two as an example. If you were to apply a 2% beta hydroxy acid to your skin and you apply it, but then you apply another layer of a different different beta hydroxy acid to your skin, that's 2%, that doesn't equal 4%. With home peels, not medical professional grade peels, but home peels, they are a compound of ingredients including the acid. So even though you think you're getting 30%, you really aren't getting actually 30% at all, because the pH of that isn't 1, it's somewhere usually between 3.5 and 4.5. And you can see this a lot of times on the ingredient list or in the actual packaging. Some companies don't list it, but some do, particularly with the home peels. And you will see that the pH is very high, making all of that acid not actually available to the skin. So there you go. That's a quick, brief view of compounds, free acids, and why you're not getting the percentage you think you are. Now you see how I mentioned that and how I was respectful and kind. You would think that that would be what I would receive back in comments. No, it's not. So let's talk about my favorite products with regards to just your everyday kind of exfoliants. So we'll talk about Paula's Choice first, because these are still really good ones. There's two excellent ones, and again, pH levels differ on products. So you will see that Paula's Choice has 2% beta hydroxy acid in several of their leave-on toners, but the pH levels will be different, meaning some can be much stronger than others, even though it's the same 2%. What we talked about earlier with regards to the pH. So you've got the 2% beta hydroxy acid. This is the original one that kind of started off the whole craze. This is my favorite one. It's the pore refining treatment because it's less oily. So if I use it in the day, I find it just much nicer on my skin. For those of you who like to save money, there's the 2% beta hydroxy acid body lotion as well. And I've had no problems at all personally using that on my face. If you've got a lot of money and you just want to spend it, then this is an excellent one. Augustus Bader, and this is very lovely. I find this really, really gentle. This is a new one to me, but I really like it so far, by Kate Somerville. It's Liquid Exfoliate, and it's a triple acid resurfacing treatment. So here it is. Very nice product. This is by this is not by Skin Fusion, it's called Skin Fusion, and it's by Filmed, and it's their exfoliant, and it's very, very nice indeed. Very nice indeed. Morad, they do a daily clarifying peel, which is both an alpha hydroxy, beta hydroxy, and a retinol in it. Sometimes people can find these quite irritating. I haven't personally, but I know that when you combine ingredients, sometimes they can be irritating for certain skin types. It Cosmetics Hello Results. This is the Baby Smooth Glycolic Peel, which I find to be really, really quite moisturizing on the skin. Then we've got Glow Skin Beauty, the Hydra Bright Pro 5 Liquid Exfoliant. And this is a really quite a lovely product. We've also got one by Charlotte Tilbury, which is the Super Radiance Resurfacing Peel with 15% alpha hydroxy, beta hydroxy, and polyhydroxy acids. And of course, there is a whole other host of products out there, but these are some of my favorite at the moment. So let's just quickly reiterate some of the points we made in the beginning, because it not only helps you as a consumer when buying a product, but it also, I think you're just more understanding of how things work. So you always need to remember that there's the free acids and the compounds, and then there's the pH level. If you have a very super low pH level, and you're not going to find that, in a consumer product, because they don't do it, because you'll burn your face off. And that's part of the reason why you have a pH level of somewhere between 3 and 4.5, because they don't want you to burn your entire face off. And there are people out there, myself included, if I didn't know better, who would use a product like that and just go, well, I don't feel any tingle, I'm going to go to sleep in it. And then you wake up with no face, and people don't want that. So that's why we've got a much higher pH level in all exfoliants that we use over the counter, and particularly the at-home peels that we use over the counter. They are not to be compared with medical grade peels at all. Medical grade peels, at least the ones that I've seen, can vary between 0.5 of a pH up to around about 2.5. And they are very, very strong, particularly when you are looking at the pH level of 1 or even below. They are outrageously strong, and some of them are only left on the skin for 30 seconds at a time, because they are that strong and they can have that kind of incredible effect. And if you were to leave them on the skin for a long period of time, you would run into many, many, many issues which you wouldn't want. Now, of course, it would be nice if we were to look at a product and go, well, it's got 10% in, and that means that 10% is going to be what's on our skin, and that 10% is going to exfoliate to the state that we've got it written on the jar. So it says 10%, that means that all of that 10% is available to us. And that isn't the case, because the pH is very high. It's not very high, but it's 3.5, 4. It's pretty high compared to 1. So you're not going to get anywhere near that product on your skin working the way you think you are. It would be nice if it were, different, but it's not going to be, because the manufacturers need to make sure that you, as a consumer, are not going to destroy your face with a product. And that's why you have a high level of pH, which means that those active ingredients are not able to work at the level you think they are. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.